The 90-hour work debate rages on. Several industry leaders like Harsh Mariwala, Harsh Goenka and Rajiv Bajaj have weighed in, saying work-life balance is not optional but is essential, and working hard to succeed is not about the hours clocked in. The suggested practice of working for long hours, if at all required to be followed, must start from the top after a nationwide backlash and also a debate and a controversy raging on the social media after the remark made by L&T official statement saying that the nation building is at the core of its mandate and that the chairman's remarks reflect the larger ambition. During a recent employee interaction, L&T Chairman S.N. Subramaniam advocated for a 90-hour work week. Subramaniam questioned the necessity of the time off, asking, "What do you do sitting at home?" And he also, in fact, then reiterated, "How long can you stare at your wife while being at home?" He further expressed regret that he couldn't mandate Sunday work, stating that he would be happier if employees worked on weekends as he does. Following his remarks, Subramanian's remuneration, which as per the company's annual report for the year 2023-2024 stood at 51.05 crore and was 534.5 times the median remuneration of the company's employees, and has also attracted attention from netizens. His remarks follows a similar statement by Infosys founder Narayan Murthy, who suggested a 70-hour work week for young professionals. Meanwhile, Bollywood actress Deepika Padukone has joined the issue, also stating her opinion, criticizing the L&T chairman for ignoring the mental health, stating that it is shocking to see such people in such senior positions making such kind of statements. A recent report by has revealed that more than 56% of employees are willing to accept a lower paid job in exchange for a better work-life balance. It also found out that 33% of workers consider work-life balance to be the most crucial consideration when they are looking for a job. All right. To in fact discuss this further, we have my guest joining me live on the broadcast, Jitin Bhasin, who is a founder and CEO at Saven, and Dr. Kapil Kakkar, who is a corporate consultant, IPSSR and psychologist. Thank you both of you for joining me this morning. And in fact, as we are breaking it down, the importance of this debate that continues to take the attention in the conventional discourse of discussions, I will first begin with, in fact, my guest, Mr. Jatin. Very good morning. How, in fact, have you responded to these statements? Do you think essentially that the mandate for the number of hours and the metric for the number of hours that an employee puts in should only be the deciding factor for how much growth they are going to possess, given the fact that in India, most of the employees continue to be overworked and underpaid? All right, Mr. Jatin, if in fact you can hear me right now. Mr. Jatin, if you can hear me correctly, I would like to get a heads up from you at this point. All right, till we figure out a way to get the better connection with him, let me start first up with, in fact, my other guest, Dr. Kakkar. Sir, as we are looking at this entire discourse, how important, in fact, it is right now to understand the ramifications of this 90-hour or 90-hour plus work shift that many of the industry leaders are now advocating, given the fact that the research have shown people are going for a work-life balance choice in a job while being even in the option to be overpaid.
Okay, thank you for having me. First of all, see, we need to ask ourselves this simple question, whether we work to live or we live to work. Everybody, if we are talking about a quality life, it is at the disposal of the person, whether he wants a career as a priority, whether he wants a work-life balance as a priority, or whether he wants a family as a priority. Now, coming from straight up the hierarchy, Mr. Srinivasan to me seems to be somebody who is a workaholic, and he would want others to also replicate, not thinking about that every individual has a different priority in life. And if you look at the World Health Organization, they have said very clearly burnout has been classified as as an occupational syndrome, which means it has been seen that the inefficiency, the cynicism towards work, and the exhaustion has been very clearly seen in the employees, which has also impacted their health. Now, the question is, what are we looking at? Now, it is very easy to say when you are at the top, when you are a 64-year-old man, when you have a very different priority in life, your children are settled, and you want the young executives with growing families who have children, where they need to invest time on their children and the other priorities of life on their parents. You can't expect them to work 90 hours a week. It should be an option, but this option is in 90% of the cases, it is not taken by the executives in today's world, especially when we are talking about Gen Z and when we are talking about millennials, they would not even like to consider it. So the question is, who are the people who might consider it? It would be people from the middle management who would have eye on a spectacular career as as an ambition. But the question is, what about the others? People who are wanting a good quality life, they are not concerned about going up in career like Mr. Srinivasan would see. One more thing, if you look at Pareto's principle, it says 80% of the organization is run by 20% people and 20% of the organization is run by 80% people. Now, what does it mean? In any organization, only 20% people can rise up to the senior management level or a senior middle management level. So the question is, why do we expect 80% of the people who are not getting salaries in crores to kind of be away from their family and work for 90 hours a week? So for me, it is unfortunately a very sensible statement which would overstay. He must have thought it was a casual and a very
मैंने
fleeting
ऑन किया ऑडियो
statement,
भी. आप
but
सुन सकते हैं मुझे
such
वहाँ?
statements tend to overstay and would become a matter of debate for every for every employee in the industry.
Absolutely, Mr. Kakkar. As in fact,